All right, what is happening, guys? Drinking a Red Bull. Rarely ever do that. Jumping right in. If you feel like there is more to life, more juice that you could be squeezing, the answer is right. It's right for me, and it's right for you. And so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. How to squeeze more juice out of life and where I get my juice from. And I think that hopefully in some type of way, it'll help you. Let me do an intro of who I am, what I'm about, and we'll get after it. The bottom line is a more fulfilling life isn't some giant mystery. It isn't something that only a few amongst us get to enjoy. It's something that every single one of us, day to day, can experience. I'm Timmy Riggs. This is my channel. My number one focus is making sure that in the meantime of life, right, on our day to day, our comings and goings, right, Monday through Friday, Sunday through Saturday, in the meantime, we enjoy the here while we're working to get there. Your there can be anything: financial freedom, physical health, better, stronger marriage, a job that you're passionate about, that you love, an adventurous, exciting, bold life. Like, we all have it there. We have goals and things we want to accomplish and dreams, right? But we live here. We live in today. Today is Friday. I can't be anywhere other than today, right? I can't be in last Tuesday. I can't be in next Tuesday. I can only be in today, this Friday. So what I want to do in the meantime is make sure that I'm enjoying the here while I'm working to get there, whatever my goals are. Those are good things to have, but I want to enjoy life today, because if I don't enjoy life today, I probably won't enjoy life there either. So I'm going to break it down. Basically, what I do, what I want to continue to do, what I want to get better at doing, and how you can hopefully step into some of that as well, right? I have a window cleaning, pressure washing business. I've gone from essentially 0 YouTube subscribers in the last 16 months to 3,500, right? Just almost 3,500. Not incredible. There's plenty of people that have blown up their channels way past that in the same amount of time. For me, feels like a cool win. It's exciting. It's something that I'm like, wow, it's worth it. It's proof of concept. And it's been mostly grown from me sharing my business experience, me talking about my window cleaning business. And the reason for that is pretty much most people are figuring out, how can I make more money? How can I have more time freedom? How can I do something that I'm in charge of? Maybe not have a 9 to 5. How can I start a side hustle to make more money? Whatever, right? So like, it's solving a problem. But for me, like, I'm more nuanced at that. What I do like about my channel is, for me, is I don't really know how to be anything other than myself. And so I think that comes off decent, right? Like, everyone on YouTube's like, you gotta be authentic. You gotta be genuine. I'm like, I don't know how to be something else. Like, I've always told the truth about my business. I've shared that, man, I've had months where it doesn't do a lot. I don't see a lot of production. I don't make a lot of money. Then I've had really big months and awesome months, right? Like July, I think I brought in like $1,800 for my business, which is horrific. But August, I hit the 10,000 mark. This month, I'm gonna be a little over $13,000, and that's just true. That is a genuine sharing of how I'm growing my business. Obviously, even when I put those numbers out, I hate throwing those numbers out a little bit, because it feels kind of like a flex, which I guess it is. It's a little bit of credibility, right? And again, I always come back to, somebody could be like, well, we did 130,000 this month. And I'm like, that's great. Here's where I really am in my business and what I'm doing. And I'm using a lot of that money to help grow my business. And so, and prepare myself for months like July, right? But again, the bottom line is, I'm not even gonna get really into the money stuff. I didn't have a plan to talk about that. My thing is, in my channel, I like to talk about real life, where I'm really at, where I stay consistent, where I have some weaknesses, and how I want to keep getting better at it, and how I want to help you get better at it as well in the meantime. The ultimate goal, just literally no gatekeeping here. My goal is to help guys that are in their 20s, 30s, and 40s that are saying, there's got to be more to life. There's got to be more fulfillment, right? And I believe I have a little bit of the answer to that, a lot of the answer to that. And then I try to live it out every day, and some days feel really fulfilling, and some days don't. And that's just the truth, right? But I'm going to share my experience about it all. And I have my business, right, that I have run full-time now for 4 years. Talk about that a lot on my channel. Before that, for about 5 or 6 years, I was a full-time college pastor. I went to school to get a theology and ministry degree. I did. I spent some time at seminary. I then practiced being a pastor for about 6 years, and I really enjoyed it. Loved speaking, loved walking with guys. That's where I realized I love kind of guiding guys in their 20s, figuring out, what's the next step in life, what are practices and habits that they can put into their life to have a more fulfilling life. And for me, when I jumped, there was multiple reasons. It's you just don't make a lot of money as a pastor. My family was growing. I didn't see myself as necessarily wanting to be a full-time senior pastor, like a lead pastor at a church, and that's kind of the opportunities that were coming up. And I realized, hey, I want to try this entrepreneurship thing. And it's been 4 years now that it's had plenty of ups and downs, and that is where I'm running my day-to-day, where I make my living. Would I say that I dream about window cleaning and pressure washing at nighttime and that it is my passion, it's the thing I'm most excited about? No. Most of the tasks that come in running my own business, I don't enjoy. I am passionate about the idea of getting to build something that is fully mine. I think that's really, really important because everyone's like, hey, chase your passion, chase your passion. Well, sometimes if you chase your passion, you're gonna end up broke, or it's not scalable, or it's not something that can provide enough for you and your family, right? So for me, the business in and of itself is something I'm passionate about. The tasks within it, not so much. But I'm able to differentiate between those and say, okay, here's where I'm going, here's where I want to get, right? And so my meantime dream, my thing that I'm really passionate about, the thing that I want to do full time if I could. And in fact, when everyone was playing the Powerball a few weeks ago and it was like at 1.8 billion, and what's crazy is you only walk away with like 450 million if you win, still an insane amount of money. I sat down and I thought to myself, what would I do if I won that type of money? Because the question then becomes, your life isn't about building and trying to earn money and all that kind of stuff. It becomes, what kind of impact do I want to leave? What impact in life do I want to have for the people around me, right? And so I realized, even in that moment, and I've already known this, that again, my passion is, if money wasn't a question, I would want to help guys in their 20s, 30s, and 40s figure out how to create a life that is really fulfilling, really adventurous, and really healthy in the areas of their mind, money, and movement. Their physical health, their financial health, and their mindset, all through the lens of following Jesus. So that is what I'm passionate about. So no gatekeeping. This is a little bit of what my video is going to be about, and it's what I desire. Those are the people that I want to help, right? If you don't follow Jesus and you still want to get healthy in your mind, money, and movement, then I think I still have some practical things that can help, right? And so I think it's still worth watching my video. So I've been more contemplative over the last week and a half, as you can imagine. Most people have been, right? We saw so many horrific things happen in a really quick amount of time, right? Charlie Kirk's murder, the girl on the bus who got murdered, the school shootings, the wars and rumors of wars that we hear all over the world, in the Middle East, in Russia, and all these places. And again, I'm like, if you even bring it up, you feel like you got to start naming every horrific thing that's happened all the way back to Cain and Abel. And I'm just like, hey, bad things have always happened. In fact, I'm reminded from Jesus where he says, hey, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. And that's all I could really lean on the last week and a half, because I was just like, you know what, those are the words that I've anchored my life to, that I allow to steer my goals, my passions, my dreams. And so that's where I'm gonna sit. And so I took some time off social media, haven't really been on the gram much at all. And it's partly because I just wanted to make sure I hit a reset, refocus, which that might be tip number one, right? Sometimes when the world is really noisy, you gotta turn it off. And you're not a bad person for turning it off, right? For just saying, hey, listen, I was not created to carry the burdens of all 8.2 billion people on the earth. And I can be sad and I can mourn and I can hurt for what's happening, but like, I gotta have a break. I gotta have a reset. I gotta cleanse my mind a little bit, right? In Romans, Paul literally says, hey, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Don't conform to the patterns of this world. Conforming to the patterns of this world looks like me consuming every piece of information, good or bad, that comes in front of me. And Paul is saying, hey, there are times where you need to transform your mind, and that might mean by turning everything else off that is around you, right? So getting into even this video is just me trying to pour out more of my heart, getting better at staying consistent. My weakness, and I've talked about it in other videos, is I think I have good ideas. I think I have good things I can teach. I think that I can provide value. And my biggest hurdle is just doing it. It's making sure that I do it day in, day out, staying consistent, and I've seen fruit from it. And so I just want to make sure that that's what I'm working on. In my contemplative state over the last week and a half, today, September 19th, I realized we have 103 days left in 2025, right? 100 days, that's a lot of time to maybe accomplish something that you've been putting off. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm asking myself this question. What if every day I did the things I know I should do, right? My list is pretty long. I'll share it eventually. But what if every day I did pray with my wife in the morning and at night? What if every day I did the exercises I know I'm supposed to do? What if every day I ate 90% whole foods, sprinkled in some fun sugar and things like that, right? Like, what if every day I did the things I know I need to do for my business? What if every day I am choosing to raise my standards to a level of excellence, that whatever I do, I'm going to bring my best to it, right? And if I did that one day at a time, in 100 days, I'm going to see a huge impact. And that is connected to living life in the meantime, because I only have this one day. So today, if I lived with excellence in the meantime, well, once I get there, the new year, 2026, January 1st, I'm going to see that I made a pretty big ripple in the waters around me. And so that's my next charge to you is write down, what are things that if you knew that you did them every day, they would impact your life? Because we all mostly know what we have to do, right? If you want to get financially healthy, it's spend less than you make, pay off your debt, and begin to invest. It's not a secret. Is there nuance to some of that stuff? No doubt. Is there things we need to learn? For sure. But the overall principle, we all know it. And so what if we leaned into it, right? This is my 5-year journal. It's a pretty cool thing. It literally gives you 5 sections, and so you can go through it through 5 years. It's got 365 pages, and you can literally just share what your whole life is like, and you have a couple lines per each day. And so I want to hit that harder, right? I want to make sure for me that I'm getting in the Word every day. I choose to read the Message version of the Bible. It's a pretty good version. You should look into it. It's the translation essentially is they worked really hard to figure out the context of the language of the time. And so this is what it is. And actually it's a little bit easier to read a lot of times. And so every day my goal is to jump into this. And sometimes there's things that don't make sense to me. But when I stick around, the stories of Jesus and how he interacts with people and lives life with them, like, it inspires me, and the Word grows our faith. Hearing of the Word, reading of the Word, it grows our faith. And so for me, that's a non-negotiable of every day, because what happens is when I step outside my door, I'm going to be hit with everything that's happening in the world. Or if I hop on my socials, I'm going to be hit with everything that's happening in the world. And I have to zoom down into my life of recognizing here's what I can control, and here's what's leading my life. And for me, that is Jesus. Now, if you're new to this Jesus thing, because obviously I think over the last year there's been a lot of curiosity around Christianity, but around Jesus. And I think over the last week it's been elevated. And I just want to say that you should be curious, that you should interact with your curiosity. I think what's interesting about Jesus is that often it wasn't him coming somewhere, giving this big rebuke and making everybody change their mind immediately. Typically what happened is people would see him moving about in the towns. They were interested, so they would get closer to him, right? And figure out what he was about. I think that's happening with Joe Rogan. Over the last 10 years, he's been more interested in the person of Jesus. And you can see that his mind has shifted, and he's talked to people about Jesus, and he's learning about Jesus. And whether he would say he is a born again, following Jesus Christian, or if he's like, I'm interested in it all, I'm like, I don't really care, because it's clear that he's interested, that he's curious. And so start there. Don't put all this pressure on you that all of a sudden you got to be this, big time Bible thumper. Like, instead, be curious. ask somebody that you know that is a Christian, hey, what do you think about all this, or whatever, or watch some videos of people. There's so much information out there, and a lot of it's different, and a lot of people have different views. That's why, again, the bottom line is, well, why don't you just dive in for yourself? And I know it can be challenging on where to start. I always point people to the Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are 4 different accounts of Jesus' life, his story, his miracles, his death, his resurrection. And you're going to learn a lot just in those 4 books. Now, I'm talking a lot, and I didn't have a script for this, but you can see my "in the meantime" sticker right here. My point of this video, whether it's 5 people that watch it, 100 people, 1,000 people, is you are charged to live life to the fullest. I think that's scripture. I think that that's common sense. I think it's something we should all ascribe to, is how can I live my life to be big, right? How can it be exciting, adventurous, thrilling, refreshing, something that isn't a pain but a joy, right? And so for me, there's these categories of, I think if you get healthy in your mind, your money, and your movement, that's going to help. And I think it's going to help a lot. And then for me is, what about your soul? What about the health of your soul? Which then directs the view on those 3 pillars, right? But for me, my soul, it's a rest in Christ. When Jesus came, he said, hey, the new kingdom is coming, and it's here. And it's here and now, and not quite yet, but it has been established. It's a really interesting point. And if you have any questions about stuff, hit me in the comments, and maybe it'll help direct some of my next videos. But Paul then later tells us what this kingdom's about, because they thought, the early Christians, the early followers of Jesus, thought he was going to establish a new kingdom, like a new government, like a new nation, right? And there's a lot there I can talk about in another video. But ultimately, Jesus was saying, actually, I'm starting a new kingdom that is not of this world, but is, and it's going to break through, and it's going to go past nation states, it's going to go past borders, and all tribes and tongues are going to preach this kingdom, right? Paul tells us what the new kingdom is. He says the kingdom is not about eating and drinking, or what you wear, or saying all the right perfect things. Basically, he's just saying it's not about just falling in line with an expectation that someone else makes up. But the new kingdom is about falling in love with Jesus, the person of Jesus, who he is, because Jesus was God. And the gift of that, of course, we get is the Spirit of God. And it's a mystery, it's confusing, and I don't have all the answers for it. But then, what we receive from that kingdom is 3 traits that are very important. It's righteousness, peace, and joy. Righteousness sounds like a big old dusty church word. The bottom line is, it's rightness in your soul, it's rightness with God, and it's rightness with people around you. You know, it's just when everything is synced up, right? That's a free gift. We are completely loved and accepted by God. When we accept what Jesus has done, we get that rightness with God. Secondly, it's 2 emotional states. Literally, peace and joy. And I want to tell you, what are most people chasing in life? Pretty much everybody, all of us. Peace in our lives and joy in our lives. And yet we see that is a gift from the Spirit when we choose to truly follow Jesus. Again, there's a lot there, and you might not know what I'm talking about. No problem. Hit me in the comments, right? But when I'm out here working to build my business, or get physically healthy, or do all these theirs that I have, my foundation is that, man, I'm right with God, and I'm right with people, and I've got peace and joy in my life. So even when my theirs are up and down, my life is consistent, my soul is consistent, and I can step into a new day feeling excitement, feeling joy about the fact that my life is not an accident, that I have purpose, and I'm here for purpose, and that I am here to make an impact for the people around me. So that's it. That's this video. And that's my charge to you, is let's focus on impact. Let's not just focus about getting shiny things, or just hitting our goals for the sake of hitting our goals, or trying to impress someone. I want to impact. I want to impact as many human lives as possible. And whether they choose to completely believe everything I believe or not, it doesn't matter. But I think there are practices and choices that can allow you to live a big, exciting life in the meantime. So we all have it there. Let's get after it. But we live in the here. So in the meantime, enjoy the here while you're working to get there.